The Internet's invention is arguably the greatest event in human history, dividing the world into before and after its arrival. According to the annual Global Digital Report 2023, more than 64% of the world's population uses the Internet. That's, for a moment, 5 billion users. Everyone knows the word Internet, but only a few know how everything in it works. In only 15 minutes, you'll learn so much about the Internet that your head might even look a bit bigger. Is there a button that can turn off the Internet for everyone on the planet? How is information transmitted? And where is all the Internet's content stored? You'll find out about this and much more right now. This episode promises to be very interesting, so make yourself comfortable. Let's get started. In 2011, local law enforcement accused a 75-year-old resident of Georgia of cutting off the Internet for 2 countries at once. The elderly woman tried to earn money by digging up a copper cable, which investigators say was a 600-kilometer line connecting Europe, Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. The elderly businesswoman firmly denied her guilt. But the fact remains. Damage to the fiber optic main line caused Internet outages across Armenia and parts of Georgia. And now the question arises, is it really possible to disrupt the Internet just by cutting a single specific cable? Spoiler: no, this is more of an exception to the rule. Our entire planet is tightly wrapped in long fiber optic cables, and, as a rule, if it's a land route, they lay an entire main line of cables. So if a cable is damaged, we always have a backup way to communicate. Fiber optic cables are installed on land and under the sea, carrying over 95% of intercontinental data. By 2022, around 530 operational and under-construction cables totaled over 1 million kilometers in length. If you lined them up, they'd reach from Earth to the Moon and circle Earth 3 more times. The length of the longest submarine cable is about 40,000 kilometers. It runs from Germany to southern Australia. Laying such cables is a very long and complicated process. First, the route is thoroughly examined to ensure it's both cost-effective and safe. Then, thorough geological preparation is carried out. The seabed relief is studied, and unforeseen circumstances are anticipated. A mistake could cost millions. Special ships lay cables by connecting to the shore system, then slowly moving while unspooling and lowering the cable to the ocean floor. At depths of up to 1 kilometer, the cable is laid in a special trench that is dug by a special plow attached to the ship. In deep waters, the cable is slowly laid on the ocean floor. Signal amplifiers are installed at intervals on the wires, and if the length is insufficient, the wires are spliced together. When a break occurs, which, by the way, happens quite often, all underwater work is carried out using a special robot. If it's impossible to repair underwater, the cables are pulled up and repaired on the surface. In 2011, Egypt's widespread protests and riots led authorities to take the drastic step of shutting down the entire country's Internet. It wasn't that difficult to do because the main local provider, Telecom Egypt, was owned by the Egyptian authorities. The country lived without the global network for just 5 days, but that was enough to shake Egypt's economy in a terrible way. Some reports said the country was losing around $18 million daily. This raises the question, is this legal? Can the government shut down the Internet for its own purposes? The answer is quite ambiguous. It all depends on the level of control over domestic Internet providers. But even after a shutdown, users can still bypass the blocks if they want to. Fortunately, it's impossible to permanently shut down the Internet in a country. However, controlling the Internet is completely legal. In China, since 2003, the Golden Shield Project has filtered all Internet content for users. In the People's Republic of China, Google, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Wikipedia are banned. Websites with criticism of the government, pornography, or extremism are also blocked. Additionally, both website owners and users can become defendants. The Chinese Internet is considered the most controlled online space in the world. Kitai was also the first country to classify Internet addiction as a mental disorder. There are about 632 million Internet users registered in the Celestial Empire, and about 23 million of them suffer from a painful addiction to the World Wide Web. There are even special camps, or treatment facilities, whichever you prefer, where Internet addicts are returned to reality. They treat with marching drills, physical exercise, live communication, and no gadgets. In China, someone is considered internet addicted if they spend 6 hours a day or more online. Comment how many hours you spend online daily. Let's see who else might need help with this addiction. So, let's sum it up. To cut internet in a country, you can either coordinate with all local providers, as in Egypt, or damage the cable, as an elderly Georgian resident did. Even a few minutes of being disconnected from the global network have enormous consequences. That's why, first of all, it's not profitable. And secondly, it's almost impossible to disconnect the internet for a long time. Where cables can't be laid, you can use a satellite connection to access the World Wide Web. Even with Elon Musk and SpaceX's successes, satellite internet still can't match wired fiber optics. Here, the choice is obvious. Cable is more reliable, offers the highest data transfer speeds, and is also less expensive. Satellite internet is mainly used in mountains, villages, and deserts. In general, in places where people are cut off from civilization. But Elon Musk is diligently and, it should be noted, quite successfully bringing connectivity from space. SpaceX plans to launch thousands of satellites into low Earth orbit to create a global network. A shell of satellites at a low altitude will maximize data transmission speed and allow users to continuously interact with one of the stations. All information on the internet passes through servers located in data centers, the so-called data centers. Specially equipped rooms, or even buildings or entire blocks of facilities, actually perform a very important function 24/7. All internet content is stored here, from cat videos to important documents. Most data centers operate 24 hours a day with constant energy consumption. Their main task is to provide users with services that guarantee security and performance. There are about 7,500 data centers worldwide, varying in reliability, functions, and size. Data centers can be small offices, rooms, or even gigantic structures. For example, the data center, the Citadel campus in the United States, in the state of Nevada, is one of the most advanced and largest data centers. Switch, an American corporation, built a massive 130,000 square meter data center among the Sandy Hills. In the future, they promise to increase this figure to 669,000 square meters. But that's just the beginning. The clear leaders in incoming and stored information. The Russian data centers are China Telecom Data Center and China Mobile Hohhot. The largest, China Telecom Data Center, spans 994,000 square meters. To visualize the scale, imagine a football field. Got it. Multiply that by 140. That's about the size of the largest data center in the world. The number and scale of such data centers increase every year. Engineers are creating increasingly sophisticated designs and placing them in unusual locations. For example, in Barcelona, Spain, a data center was placed inside a church. Or here's a former data center in the Netherlands, located inside a nuclear bunker. There's also a small data center in Antarctica. The world-famous company Microsoft went even further and actually built a data center that operates underwater. What else can I say? Competition is the engine of progress. By the way, in Russia, the situation with data centers is, to put it mildly, tense. According to data from one of the statistics websites, as of today, there are about 172 data centers operating in the Russian Federation. For comparison, in the United States, there are about 2,701. Today, the internet has developed to unimaginable proportions. You can't even imagine how much information the World Wide Web contains. The internet is like an iceberg. Most users only access its visible part. This is everything you can find using search engines, social networks, websites, encyclopedias, and services. But that's just a grain of sand compared to what the network actually contains. The largest part of the iceberg is the deep web. You can't find this information using Google. Documents, medical records, confidential information, massive amounts of data that we don't even know exist. But there's another level, the most mysterious and dangerous one. It's the Darknet. You can't access it from standard browsers, and you need special services to bypass the restrictions. The Darknet didn't get its name for nothing. The darkest things on the entire internet happen here, from selling weapons to secret data. This place is dangerous for beginners, so it's better not to go there. Now, pay attention. Here's an amazing fact. 7 people are responsible for the security of the entire internet. They all have secret keys that can restart the global network if it goes down. And no, this isn't a parody of The Lord of the Rings. This is actually true. Since 2010, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers has held a special ceremony, gathering the keepers of unique keys and generating new smart cards. The key keepers are a group of security experts chosen from different countries. They are selected based on their work experience and geographic location. If a disaster or unexpected event occurs, these people must join their smart keys to restart the system. Security at these events is extremely high. Of course, these people essentially hold the security of all internet users worldwide. The ceremony mainly involves moving laptops, flash drives, and codes. Here's an unusual fact. Who created the internet? And how did it grow to such a scale? Let's dive a little into history. And in just 2 minutes, you'll find out who we should thank for inventing the internet, how it developed, and you'll see the first video uploaded to YouTube. Humanity spent years developing the internet, which is believed to be the result of many researchers' collective work. But the first significant steps were made by Dr. Joseph Licklider. As department head, he linked American universities into a network, allowing messages to be sent from the University of Los Angeles to Stanford. Only the letters L and O from the word login made it over the network. This event marked the birth of Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, the forerunner of the Internet. This happened on January 2nd, 1969. This date is considered the birthday of the Internet. But in order to become a global network, it had to develop for many decades. Just a couple of years later, in 1971, another significant event happened. American programmer Ray Tomlinson introduced the idea of email. The Arthur symbol appeared in Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, meaning that an email was sent to a specific person, not a machine. Email caused a surge in the popularity of using the internet, and between 1986 and 1987, the network grew from 2,000 users to 30,000. Now people could read news on the internet, exchange files, and send messages to each other. Revolutionary changes in internet development took place in 1989. British scientist Tim Berners-Lee developed a new way to share information, leading to the World Wide Web. The 3W project was approved, and within a few years, the first website launched on the network. You might be surprised, but you can still find the website by entering this link into the search bar. It remains in its original form. After that, everything started rolling. The first browsers appeared and the first blogs began to emerge. By the way, that's also thanks to Tim. He was the one who published notes about the development of the global network and the appearance of new websites. In 1996, more and more blogs started to appear. And by 1999, there was a real boom of bloggers. Then the first search engines, the first messengers, and social networks started to appear. On February 14th, 2005, YouTube was launched, which is where you're watching this video. 3 ex-PayPal employees created a video hosting service, and the first video quickly appeared on the platform we all love. Here we are, just one of the sheep. Developing at a crazy pace, the internet reached 50 million users in just 5 years. In comparison, television reached that in 13 years and radio in 38 years. For his achievements, on July 16, 2004, the late Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom knighted Tim Berners-Lee for his service to the global development of the internet. From everything mentioned above, we can draw several conclusions. The internet has finally and irreversibly become a part of our lives. Only humanity's extinction or the world's end could alter events. There is no red button to turn it off. Many thanks to Tim Berners-Lee. And also, when you're about to dig something up, make sure it's not the internet cable connecting both sides. Don't forget to subscribe and watch this video YouTube chose for you. See you soon.